So welcome to yoga this morning, and you do yoga at your own risk, so please pay attention to how you feel and know that you feel different every time that you do yoga. So if there's anything that doesn't feel right to you today, then you can make any adjustment that you want. You can change anything that you need. You can rest anytime you want to. And we're going to start lying down on our backs. So find a comfortable place. You can have your knees bent if your lower back feels like it needs that bit of support, or you can stretch your legs out. If you're comfy too, then please close your eyes. Allow your attention to become more internal, just to drift away from anything surrounding you, as if it's focusing down inside your body. And down inside your body, the one thing that's still moving is your breath. So direct the expansion of your inhale down into your abdomen. So you're aware that the whole of your body is relaxing, apart from you're expanding your abdomen with every breath in. So your effort is restricted just to your abdomen. And with that in mind, a scan of your shoulders, your head and face, your arms and legs. No effort anywhere else. And bring your arms by your sides. Next time you breathe in, raise your arms up towards the ceiling and then over beyond your head. And as you exhale, bring your arms back down by your sides. So an easy, gentle movement with your arms. Same on every breath. And make this one your last one. As you exhale, finish your exhale, leave your arms by your sides. And then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the mat. And then right knee onto your chest, hands around the back of your right thigh, just to support the leg. So see your leg completely relaxed, your right leg. It's not going to move. You're going to circle your ankle, so even your shin doesn't move. Just your foot goes round in a circle. So you can slow that circle down to make it big and smooth. And it might not want to be completely circular, as if your big toe was drawing a circle. Are there bits that don't feel very circular? Can you make them more circular? And then the other way round with your circle. And then pull your toes up towards your knee. So we're going to move gently. As you take your next breath in, you're going to send your heel up towards the ceiling, straightening your leg, but only as much as comfortable. You can rearrange your grip around your thigh if you need to. Not a straight leg to begin with, and as you exhale, bend your knee again, draw your knee into your chest. So we're going to repeat that movement with the slow breath. So as you breathe in, you reach your heel up towards the ceiling, stretching your leg a bit more open each time. And as you breathe out, you bring your knee back down onto your chest. The next time you breathe in and straighten your leg, leave your leg there as you continue breathing. You don't have to have your leg completely straight. You're going to push the heel up and pull the toes down towards you. And then point your toes right away from your face, stretching the top of your foot. Pull your toes down again. Point your toes. And then bend your knee again. Relax your ankle, bend your knee to chest. Squeeze it in. Squeeze it in a little firmer this time, as if your hands are taking control of your leg. Your right hip and leg completely relaxed, squeezing in. And then release the leg, foot to the floor. Left knee onto your chest, hands around the back of the thigh. So just gently hold it wherever it's comfy to relax. And everything relaxed, so your shoulders are relaxed as well. And then circle your left ankle. So your left big toe is drawing as big a circle as it can. Maybe even slow it down to make sure it gets that complete smoothness. Back the other way. And pull your toes up towards your knee. As you breathe in, gently at first, extend the left leg upwards. And as you exhale, draw it back in. So continue with your own breath. And the next time your leg is extended up, leave it there. But let it relax just a little bit. Push your heel up, pull your toes down towards you. Feel the back of the calf stretching. It's right up near the back of the ankle. And then point your toes away. Then it's the front of the foot, front of the ankle stretching. Toes back down towards your face. And then toes away from your face. Relax your ankle, relax your leg, draw your knee, your left knee in towards your chest, squeeze it in. And then keep it there, bring your right knee in as well. Take a hold around both knees and have a rock side to side. Settle at the centre and then feet onto the floor. Roll to one side to make your way up to standing. We're going to come for our salute to the sun. So standing at the front end of your mat, looking out over the short edge. I'm going to think about standing tall for a moment first, Tadasana mountain pose. So your toes point straight ahead. They don't have to be together. They can be wherever they're comfortable. But the toes pointing forwards, the knees pointing forwards, hips square. Lovely. So firm down through your feet. That's the contact that we've got with earth. It's not much, those 2 footprints, so keep it solid. That's what's going to stop you from falling over. And then the front of the left shoulder, the front of the right shoulder. They quite like to roll forwards in a bit of a slouchy kind of position. So don't lift them, but send them back as if you're pointing the outside tips of your shoulders to the side walls rather than slightly forwards. So that's your top line of a triangle. The bottom point of your triangle is the lower front ribs. They're going to drop towards the floor because when you roll your shoulders back, it's quite tempting to flare your front ribs forwards, but make your lower front ribs feel heavy and sinking to the floor. So keeping the idea of that triangle. And then as if your earlobes are lifting up away from the top line of that triangle. Check that your feet are still grounded on the floor. Steady breath. And then lift your arms to the ceiling. Look up towards the ceiling and reach your arms back and wide. Centre of your chest comes a little bit closer to the ceiling. Look forwards, reach up. And then take a forward fold, as much knee bend as you need. First one's always a bit stiff. Let your head hang, let your shoulders relax. Right leg back to a lunge. Lift your chest, look forwards. Left foot back to down face dog. So again, the points of contact that you've got with the floor is what stops you from falling over. So make them firm, but also firm your core as well. That's tummy button to spine. Glide your hips forwards. Come to a plank position, a push-up position. Hold it steady. And then gently knees placed down on the floor. A smooth lower of the whole of the front body down. Keep your elbows close in. And then roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest, tilt your chest towards the wall in front. Look back down at the floor. Push up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Find your down face dog again. So find the best place for you with your hands and your feet. And then we're going to walk through the legs for another stretch of the backs of the legs. So when you lay on your back and you stretched one leg up, it was really just the calf that was stretching. Can you find here a bit of stretch through the back of your thigh as well? And then both heels ease down towards the floor. Take your weight on your left foot, look between your hands, step your right foot forwards to a lunge. And then step the left foot in line with the right foot, forward fold. A deep bend of both knees so that your hips drop closer to the floor. And then your hips stay there, your shoulders lift. A little bit of an arch of your back. And then straighten your legs, reach your hands together above your head. Slide your hands down. Find that triangle between your shoulders and your lower ribs. And then lift your arms. So when when you lift your arms, still feel that triangle. Feel how your front ribs would really like to flare forwards now. Make them feel heavy, dropping to the floor. Look up, reach back and wide. So now your rib cage does lift. So look forwards, reach up. And then forward fold. Left leg back to a lunge. Right foot back to down face dog. And forwards to plank. Hold your plank again. If you're feeling strong, leave your knees lifted. Otherwise, place your knees again down on the floor. Smooth lower down of your front body. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest towards the wall in front. And then look back down, push up to hands and knees, tuck your toes under, lift back into down face dog, find your best position. And then find a good strong press down into your hands and your feet. And tummy button to spine. So engaging your core, that tummy button to spine, that's going to hold your body in its position. But then where you've got your hands and feet on the floor, your foundation with the floor, that's where you can really move the position that you're holding with your body. So in down face dog, we always want the hips to move a little bit further back. And it's an action with the hands on the floor that's going to move your hips back. Your core stays engaged so that you hold the V shape. Weight on your right foot, look between your hands, step the left foot forwards. Step the right foot forwards, forward fold. Deep bend of your knees and then lift your shoulders, look forwards, straighten your legs. Palms together above your head and then slide your palms down. Firm through the floor with your feet. Find your triangle, lift your earlobes. And we're going again with the breath. So as you breathe in, you lift your arms. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back to a lunge. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, plank. Option to drop your knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, push back to down face dog. Position your hands and feet where you think is best. Find your V, your upside down V shape. So tummy button to spine to hold that V shape. But then feel how your hands on the floor compress not just down into the floor but almost forwards on the floor to send your hips back. So the foundation is what's giving you your best position. Breathing steady. And then weight on your left foot, look between your hands. Breath in, right foot forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up. And then exhale, palms down. As you breathe in, consider your triangle and your feet. And a breath out. Inhale to lift up. Smooth, continuous movements. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, plank. Option to lower your knees and then exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, down face dog. So find your best position, engage your core, and then notice your hands and feet. Feel exactly what your hands and feet need to do to get you into your best down face dog position. So all your attention is on your hands and feet. And then weight on the right foot, look between your hands, breath in, left foot forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up. Palms together, and then exhale, palms down. Breath in, find your triangle, find your feet, and exhale. And then rest your arms by your sides. So a moment for all the energy moving around your body to settle. We're going to balance from here. So we're going to do a knee out to the side balance. If we pick the left foot up first, so if you need to have something as a bit of a steady, have it on your right side. Once you've found your position, then come back to that standing up tall feeling. Find a place where you can hold your gaze. And then pick up the left knee. So you can hold it either in front of your knee or underneath your knee. And extend the right arm out. So whether it's touching something or not, your full height. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, take the knee out to the left. So out to the side. Keep your gaze steady, keep your breath steady. That lifted left knee is going to stay lifted. Stretch out the left arm. Then take your arms into a V shape. Stretch out the left leg. So you're in a star kind of position. And then we're going to tilt over to the right. Take up as much space as you can with your arms and legs. Lovely. Untilt. Left foot to the floor, arms by your sides. So keep your eye gaze where it is. Just feel how your legs feel and your ankles. If anything needs a shake, have a shake and then come back. So if you use the wall on your right side, you'll need the wall on your left side this time. Pick up the right knee. So you can hold up in front or underneath. Left arm out to the side. So don't lose any height just because you picked up a leg. Centre of gravity slightly different, so it's all little adjustments, but that's what the balance is all about. Breath in. Exhale, right knee out to the right. Now you're going to stretch the right arm out to the right as well. Lift up both arms. Stretch the right leg. Find your big star shape, as big as you can, and then see if you can allow a bit of tilt over to your left. Always okay to topple. Back upright, foot to the floor, rest your arms, have a moment there, keep your eye gaze steady. Every bit of practicing balance makes us balance better. Falling over is even best practice, I think. Taking it to the edge. Then take a lie down on your front, and when you get there, one hand on the other to make a pillow for your forehead. So don't move, continue resting, face down. We're going to think about, if you remember how we did our down face dog in the salute to the sun, with the hands pressing into the floor, and knowing that you had to engage your core to keep the shape, but then really it's an adjustment to the foundation that you've got on the floor to move into your best place. And it was kind of a push forwards and down with your hands that allowed your hips to go back. So we're going to continue thinking about the foundation. Make your way up to forearms and knees. So knees comfortably apart, elbows directly under your shoulders, and hands together, either fingers stretched, or you can clasp your hands, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Lovely. So right up on your elbows, elbows underneath your shoulders. So we're going to do dynamic dolphin, thinking about that pressure down into our foundation. So now the foundation is the knees and the forearms, the whole length of your forearms. If you could picture the bone, or the two bones, the whole length of those two bones pushing into the floor. And core is always important as well, so tummy button to spine. And take a breath in here, and then as you exhale, slide your body forwards. Keep the foundation working. Not too far the first time, but you can experiment with other goes. And then as you breathe in, your tummy button pulls you back to the centre. Feel how your forearms have to press forwards to allow that movement. As you exhale, you're going to slide your hips all the way back. And again, that's by pushing your forearms down into the floor, forwards and down. Once you get all the way back, just let your head hang between your shoulders, your upper arms rather. And then as you breathe in, back to the centre. So think about your foundation the whole way through. Exhale forwards. Inhale, tummy button pulls you back to the centre. Exhale, slide your hips even further back. Rest your head between your upper arms. Inhale back to the centre. So exhale forwards. Inhale back. Exhale, slide your hips all the way back. Rest your head and neck. Inhale back to the centre. So you're on your own. You exhale forwards. You can go as far or as short forwards as you feel comfortable. Every time you come back from the forwards position, really use your core so that you don't overwork your lower back. And the whole way through, with the core engaged, focus on what the arms on the floor have to do to make you move. Feel how they're making you move. Your arms, your elbows might splay a bit wide of your shoulders, so you might want to draw them in. Certainly Kim and Pat, I can see yours have gone quite wide. Other people maybe I can't see. Lovely. So if you get tired, you can stop, but otherwise a couple more smooth rounds. Continuing on. So one more complete round, and once you've completed that full round, then rest in child's pose. Let your arms and shoulders rest. Don't rush to get there. So strong on the shoulders, that's the whole point of it. It's strength on the shoulders and flexibility on the shoulders as well. So as you rest in child's pose, make sure you put your arms in the most comfy place for you. Back up once again to those forearms and knees, so the same position again. This time you're going to tuck your toes under. So make sure your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Feel that pressure down through your two forearm bones. Keep pushing it down, tummy button to spine, and then push down through your toes as well. Let your knees feel light, let them lift up off the floor, and then really focus on your foundation, your arms especially, pushing them down, lifting up into a down face dog position, but on your forearms. Then push your forearms forwards to allow your hips to slide back a little bit, your head to hang between your upper arms. Beautiful. And then bend your knees, let them come gently back down onto the floor to rest. Have a moment in child's pose. So we're having a brief rest here. We're going to do that dolphin pose again, that static dolphin pose again, with the option to hold it for a little bit longer if you want to. If it was too strong, then rest instead, as ever. So it's all in the forearms and the core, so tummy button to spine. But once you've got that sorted out, once you've got that engaged, then it's all about the foundation, especially the arms. So up you come again if you're coming again. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Toes are hip distance apart, knees are hip distance apart. Take it slow, so engage the core and then make that action with your toes and your forearms, pushing down into the floor. Then your knees have no choice but to lift up. As they lift up, then really think about pushing your forearms forwards, like in down face dog with your hands, to let your shoulders and your hips move back. Your head can hang between your upper arms, and then engage your legs as well. A steady breath. So anytime you need to, place your knees back down on the floor, but really concentrate on your forearms, pushing forwards and down into the floor. They're what's holding you in that good position. 2 more breaths there if you've got them. Take them as slow as you like. When you finish them, knees back down on the floor, child's pose. Hands under your shoulders. Lift your chest, bring yourself upright. Maybe a circle of your shoulders. Going to make our way up to standing. So our standing postures are going to be facing the long edge of the mat today. So if you can have your mat that way, that's great. If you can't, don't worry. We're going to start with second warrior. So feet wide apart on the mat. Here she comes again. So once again, core will be engaged, but we're going to think about the feet on the floor, the foundation. There's not much foundation, so make it work for you. So hands on hips, left leg in, right leg out. Also as square to the front as you can manage. So take your attention now, once you've got your core engaged, just tummy button to spine. Now take your attention to both feet on the floor. So feel the texture of the mat. Take a breath in. As you exhale, move slowly. Bend your right knee, but think about the underside of your feet all the time you're doing it. Your spine stays upright. Once you get to your comfortable maximum position, have a check of your right knee. Make sure your ankle is underneath your knee or slightly forwards of your knee. And your knee is pointing out in the same direction as your toes rather than pulling forwards. Stretch out your arms. So you can look forwards or you can turn your head to look over your right fingers. Tummy button to spine. Then come back to the soles of both feet. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, see if your hips will sink a little bit lower. But all about the soles of the feet. 2 more breaths like that. Breath in. Exhale to sink. 1 more breath in. Soles of the feet. Exhale, sink. Beautiful. And then a breath in to come all the way back up. Hands on your hips. Toes to the front. Some steady breaths. Right leg turns in, left leg turns out. So keep them as wide apart as they are. Torso to the front. So it's like your tummy button, which would quite like to shine out to the left a little bit. Try and shine it out straight ahead of you. Engage your core. Feel the undersides of your feet. Take a breath in. Exhale, slowly bend the left knee, thinking about your feet again, soles of your feet. And as you go down, are you keeping your shoulders directly over your hips? Lovely. Check of your knee. Knee over ankle. Knee pointing in the same direction as your toes. And look forwards, stretch your arms wide. Still core engaged. Looking over your left fingers or looking straight ahead, and then attention right down to the soles of your feet. Breath in. Exhale, sink. Breath in. Exhale, sink. Final breath in. Exhale, sink. Beautiful. Breath in to come back up. And then hands on hips. Toes to the front. Steady deep breaths. Heel toe your feet to hip distance apart. And a forward fold here. So breath in to lift your chest, lengthening the front of your body. As you exhale, you hinge at your hips. So your hands can feel that it's your hips hinging. Your legs don't move. Your waist doesn't bend. Go as far as you can and then take a good bend of both knees. Then let your front ribs drop towards your knees. Just as far as gravity will let them go. Let go of your hips. Take hold of the opposite elbow with each hand. Hang your head, let it just drop. Release your elbows, hands drop down to the floor. A deeper bend of both knees, and then tuck your tailbone under, tuck your chin in so your spine is rounded and you can roll back up to standing. I'm going to step the feet wide apart again for a variation on second warrior, sun warrior. Hands on hips. Left leg turns in, right leg turns out. Core engaged. Attention to the soles of your feet. Take a breath in and then exhale, slowly bend the right knee. So spine vertical. Right knee pointing out over the right toes. And then stretch your arms wide. So at your lowest position, keep that sensation of your feet. You're going to turn your right palm face up. And then you're going to windmill your arms over to the left. Take your spine with you, so you curve your spine. You can let the left arm just hang down and rest on your leg. Right arm stretches as far as it can. You can look up at your right fingers, or you can look down at your left foot, whatever feels the best stretch for you. As you breathe in, soles of your feet, lift your fingers up. As you exhale, maybe you can sink your hips. Just one more breath like this. Breath in and a breath out. Going to unwindmill back to the second warrior position. And then take a breath in to straighten the right leg. Hands on hips, toes to the front. Right leg turns in, left leg turns out. So that moment to square your torso to the long edge of the mat. Engage your core. Feel the soles of both feet. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend the left knee. So complete awareness as your knee bends. Once you're there, knee pointing out towards your toes, stretch your arms out. Left palm turns up this time. And then you're going to windmill over to the right. So the right arm can relax. The left arm stretches up. You press down through the soles of both feet. So feel how the movement in your feet can give you the more stretch on the left side of your body. Take a breath in, finding that best stretch. And then exhale. One more breath in. And a breath out. And then windmill your arms back to second warrior. Find a good second warrior for a moment. And then a breath in to straighten the left leg. Exhale, hands to hips. Toes to the front. And a wide leg forward fold. So toes slightly inwards. Feel free to adjust the position of your legs if they feel too wide. So remember, we hinge from the hips. So your hands can feel that when you hinge from your hips, feel that's your hips that you're holding. Your legs go suck into the sort of holes at the bottom of your hips, but your waist won't be curving. You take a breath in, and then as you exhale, your hips tilt forwards. So your back is straight. See how far you can go forwards. Keep pressing into your feet on the floor. And when you can't go any further, that's when you let go with your hands. Let your arms just dangle, and then let your shoulders relax down as well. So if you touch the floor, have the floor as a balance. If you don't touch the floor, then have your hands on your legs for a little bit of stability. Tummy button to spine, and your feet are firm into the floor. So as you breathe in, push the skin on the backs of the thighs up towards the ceiling. Feel how your feet are involved in doing that. And then as you exhale, soften your shoulders, relax. We're going to have 2 more breaths in that position. So breath in, lifting up through the backs of your legs. Exhale, soften your shoulders, relax forwards. 1 more breath in. Big push up with the hips. Exhale, relax the shoulders. And then take a bend of your knees. Fingertips on the floor underneath your shoulders, so maybe a bit forwards of the edge of the mat, so that you can heel toe your feet to a bit wider than hip distance, squatting distance apart, toes turned out to the sides. When you're ready, lower your hips. You know, it doesn't matter how far you lower your hips. You can rest your elbows on your knees, your thighs if you want to. Maybe you can come all the way down and lift your chest as well. Just find what gives your hips a stretch. Probably. So you may have your own way to get out of that. I kind of think the best way for most people is to look down at the floor in front, take your hands onto the floor, lift your hips, so you sort of take your centre of gravity forwards, and then one knee down, then the other knee down, then take a lie down on your back on the floor. Shut your eyes, have a moment just with any sensations in your hips and your legs. And then bend your knees, feet on the floor, knees onto your chest, hands on your knees. Have a rock. And knees to chest stretches your lower back. That's what this is all about. A bit of movement just makes your lower back feel more comfortable. So every time we rock side to side, any variation of rocking is good, whatever suits your back. So settle at the centre and then feet onto the floor. I'm going to roll up to sitting. If you have a block, you might want to use a block to sit on. Your choice though, don't have to. A block or a cushion is always good. And then stretch your legs out in front. So there are options with your legs on this one. It's kind of a variation of a reverse head to knee pose, Janu Sushasana. So we're going to bend the right knee, bring it in towards you, but take the left leg out to the side. So find where it's comfortable to sit on your block if you're sitting on a block. I think it's comfy to sit right up on top of it, but you might find it better to sort of perch on the front. Whatever is good for you. So how tall can you sit? Oh, so legs. So if this isn't comfy for the bent knee, then stretch it out. That's fine. And if you find it very difficult to sit with this leg stretched out, this leg can be bent. So they're your options, anything you want to do. And if there's something that you think is more appropriate to your own legs, hips, knees, whatever, please do it. So sit as tall as you can. Can you balance your rib cage up on top of your hips rather than having it settled back? As if you've got a large, deep belt on, and you're putting that belt on. So you've got to find enough length in the sides of your waist between your hips and your ribs. And then take your arms wide out to the sides. So your arms are square to the front and back of the room. Your straight leg is at a bit of an angle. You're going to turn your palms face up, the whole length of your arms face up. So the line of your collarbone sort of tilts a little bit up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, turn to the right so that your left arm is on top of your left leg at the same angle as your left leg. Lovely. And then you're just going to tilt over a little bit that way. Keep your arms wide though. Don't be tempted to reach one arm up to the ceiling. Just a little way over. So those left fingers are coming towards your left toes. And maybe they can go all the way. If they can't, leave the right arm where it is, let the left arm relax down. But you should be feeling soft through the left side of your waist now. stretched out through the right side and lifted through your collarbones, lifted through your chest. So you can take a breath in with that lifted up feeling, lifted chest feeling, and as you exhale, soften the left side. Maybe you can creep your fingers towards your ankle. Breath in again, lift up through your chest. Exhale, relax the left side, maybe lean over more. One more breath in and one more breath out. Then as you breathe in, lift up back to your original position, turn to the front, big wide belt again, and then relax your arms. Relax your waist if you need to, have a little sag, I don't mind. Stretch your legs out. If they need a shake, give them a shake. If they don't bother. Just see how they feel. And then this time the right leg out to the right, the left leg tucked up in, or any adjustment that you want to make. Yeah, so make yourself as comfy as you can. And then sit tall. Now put that big wide belt on, makes you sit even taller. Arms out to the sides. And then turn the whole length of your arms upwards, so the palms face upwards, your collarbone feels lifted. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, turn to the left so that your right arm goes parallel over your right leg. So just a little bit of a stretch of the left side, a collapse of the right side, a curve of the spine, like a C-shaped curve of your spine, just a little way down. Remind yourself that your collarbones are lifted. And then either going a bit further or just letting the right arm drop down. So you've still got this straight line across. You're not trying to lift it up. It's encouraging that lift in your chest. So breath in, find that lift. And as you breathe out, relax the right side. Breath in again. Exhale, soften the right side. One more breath in. Big wide expansive arms, a lift of your chest. And as you exhale, right fingertips towards your right toes. And as you breathe in all the way back up, turn to the front. Relax your arms. Stretch out your legs. Shake or no shake, whatever you fancy. And then we're going to lie down on the floor. So lie down on the floor with your knees bent. Knees bent and your arms stretched out to the side, palm face up. We're taking a twist here. We're going to move the hips over to the left side of the mat. So lift them off the floor, move them over to the left, place them back down again. So your spine is off parallel with the long edges of the mat. Knees to chest, up nice and close. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, knees towards your right armpit. Left arm stays down on the floor. So you might find that the right leg will land or close to land. Then you can take your right hand on your left knee. And you can either support it to keep it lifted, or you can guide it down towards the floor. Whatever is going on with your left shoulder. If that's peeling away from the floor, then maybe a little bit of lift of the left knee. You can look up at the ceiling, or you can turn and look over your left arm. Relax your shoulders, relax your feet and your ankles. Imagine that all of your muscles are softening, all of your muscles are melting away. And if you were just left with your skeleton, how would it lie? How would the bones settle in this position? Stretch out the right arm. Bring both knees back onto your chest. Once they get there, place your feet on the floor, center your hips. And then raise your hips lightly off the floor, move them over to the right side of your mat, place them back down, knees onto your chest. So your arms are still stretched out. The right arm is going to stay on the floor and the back of the right shoulder. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take your knees towards your left armpit. So you can separate your knees, you can let the left leg go down as far as it wants to go first. Thinking about the right arm. And then your left hand can either support your right knee or can guide it down. Don't expect your body to be in its final place right yet. You've got to give it a bit of time. You can look up at the ceiling or look out over your right arm. Then consciously let your muscles melt. Let your muscles melt so they don't hold your bones away from each other. Your bones can settle. Settle into their best twist. Extend the left arm. Gently, knees to chest, maybe right knee first and then left knee. Feet to the floor. Center your hips. Let your knees just drop from side to side. To bring a bit of movement into your lower back again, your hips. So you can do that for a bit longer if you want to, but when you're done, stretch out both legs. Feet as wide apart as the mat. Feet relaxed, legs relaxed. Arms a little way away from your body, palm face up. Check that your shoulder blades and your shoulders feel comfy on the floor. Your lower back feels comfy. Back of the neck just slightly, a slight feeling of elongation if you can. So the chin is more tucked in than sticking up. Close your eyes. And allow your attention just to slip inwards, slip internal. And there you find your breath. Reach your arms beyond your head. Take a big stretch out towards the wall behind. Bring your legs together, push your heels away, pull your toes up towards you. And then point your toes away. Release that stretch. Bend your knees, feet onto the mat. Knees onto your chest, hands around your knees, or one hand on each knee. Guide your knees around in a big circle. And then take that circle the other direction. Come to rest at the centre. Place your feet on the floor. Check which side is best for you to roll to. Take a roll onto that side. And then bring yourself back up to sitting. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today.